Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome in. I hope you guys are having a great day. So let's go ahead and make it just a little bit better, shall we? Because today we're having some, well, it's a bit of a special event put on by the Benzinpreisvergleicher, as well as a few other members of this community. And it's because this is the BOGShips Flying Battleships competition. It's gonna be good. It's going to be very good. So let's go ahead and show it off, shall we? Remember, you guys can use the bracket command to... Did this not update? No. Well, that's fine. You could use the bracket command to see exactly what's going on here. We have 6 teams, and with it, 6 different matches that are going to go crazy. So let's go ahead and introduce the players, shall we? We have Team A, B, Alex, Eaton, Firework. So I'm very, very much so looking forward to it. Team Battle Planers, Flynn Shadow, Great Roo, Team Brain Damage, Last Paddledin, LP, GK, Vortex. I'm not sure if Vortex is going to be streaming this, but I know Zaltzwerk will be streaming it, so you guys can check out this content in the native German tongue. I believe looks like Bonjour is live as well, but we'll be starting soon. Just doing some more cat herding behind the scenes, as it were. Once the play... Hi, Zaltzwerk has made it into the lobby. There we go. It will be a fair few minutes before... It looks like it will be a fair few minutes before we actually get to start. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. I've been looking forward to this one with all the Forts content that's been going around. The community has been exceptionally active. It's a good time. Go Team Brain Damage. Hey, you know what? I want to see it in chat, guys. Which team is your favorite? You've got the players on the screen. You know them, you love them. Let's show some support. I have so many new Forts things coming up. The to make it even better, right after the I cannot have a limit of 4 options in the ball. Okay, well I'm not gonna do that then. I'm not gonna leave anyone out. The We have a new video, Forts video, set to release at the end of this BOGShips event. So in a few hours, you guys will have even more Forts Pro League coming up. You can have this aid team AB. Yeah, you're torn between brain damage and Dumbo. Interesting. For the game Mechabellum, I have heard of the game. I remember looking it up and not doing a video on it. I don't remember what my reasoning was for that. If you want me to look something up and actually do some more research into it, make sure to post it into the Discord. Usually the suggestions channel is the best place for it. As much as I would like to say that I will remember every suggestion from chat, the reality is 4 hours from now, after doing back-to-back casting, it's just much more simple to have it listed somewhere I can read it. Mechabellum did seem, believe it did seem interesting to me. Let me look it up again while I've got a moment here. Let's see, Mechabellum. It's not released yet. That's probably related to why I didn't look much more into it. That tracks. Okay. All right. This does look very direct strike. Okay, makes sense to me. You hate Forts networking, since stupid dumb host is dumb, and why does it send local variables? Oh no. Why is it like this? If only, if only. Everyone else's code looks crazy to anyone else. It's always how that works. Bowser better win? Well, only one way to find out. And that's to jump right into it. Which we're not doing just yet. Forts can float now? Yes. They're made out of wood. Wood floats. Wood has always floated. Okay. Looks like the lobby is full. We're just making sure everything is fine behind the scenes. This one feels weird to me. because I'm not actually, I think this is the first time I'm not actually part of the cat herding or management. I'm just casting and not doing anything else. So I really don't have other information about what's going on here. And it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But it looks like everyone is ready. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we should be starting here any moment. No cat herding. That's the fun part. I mean, yes. Yes, it is. All right. There's... Okay. They need one... The players need 1 more minute. They're teasing us, yes. Well, see what happened is they all readied up, and then we about started the countdown, and then one of the players unreadied and said he needed a minute, so it's fine. It's okay. Remember, guys, if you want to check out Zaltzwerk's perspective and his cast, you can check him out live on Twitch right now. I don't think any of the players in this current lobby will be broadcasting their perspectives. But we do have several content creators going on right now, and we're off. And that, ladies and gentlemen, marks the start of our first match here. Welcome one, welcome all. To the BOGShips tournaments, as we have here on the left-hand side. It is Team FM Kirov, playing as the Architect Commander. That does not surprise me at all. The Architect Commander is, well, it's quite good at the whole construction thing. Due to Architect's bonus... extra cheap wood, they can construct things faster. They can construct things, well, quite literally faster, because wood constructs faster when you're playing as the Architect Commander. This enables them to mass expand and create structural systems and infrastructure way faster than, well, than anyone else would be able to do without that commander. A more interesting choice to me is that here on the right side we have Team Dumbo playing as the Phantom Commander. Phantom Commander, most known for its dirty, filthy cheeses, enables the players to move weapons to and fro about their base as they see fit. It also enables some more, going to say, surprising tactics. They can hide their weapons like they're actually invisible. They can do things like, of course, when it's not allowed. Are they not? Are they preparing for it? Don't see anyone preparing for it. Okay. I think he's just... Oh, they did core swing. Okay. Okay. So there is the there are a few rules, house rules involved here. Core swings not being allowed is one of them. Not being allowed to separate the cores, as in these main cores must maintain their current positions, and that's, as you see here, there's a timer at the bottom. This is the truce timer. As it stands, weapons cannot be fired until the end of that timer, which means every team has up until the end of that timer to get their battleship into the air. This is what the teams are currently working on. It looks like both teams are going with a strategy where they are creating two separate ships, it would seem. One ship made out of this forward section, which does not include a core, and one major ships. Okay. Looks like we're going to have liftoff soon. They certainly have enough lift in their main section in order to gain airtime, although they are not launching just yet. The teams are using these moments to tech up and eventually get some weapons for themselves. They gotta swing the core back up now. Oh no. Yes, they are preparing to launch, but they are not launching just yet. Now, on the list of things that each team has to do, launch and fly is one of them. Now, they are also going to have to get weapons. Now, oh... well, that's not ideal. That's not ideal at all. There was a bit of a bombing run. Looks like Team FM Kirov decided to do a sneaky little preemptive strike. No significant damage was dealt, but certainly scary. Oh my. Love the box designs. I mean, there you have it. We have multiple boxes, a box for each team, and they're getting loaded with weapons. Team Dumbo is a little light on the whole weapons thing. Mind you, they can move, because they are Phantom, they can move their weapons around the... they can move their weapons around, so it's not immediately... they're not going to get themselves immediately in trouble for not having forward-facing weapons, but Team Kirov, they already have solid weapon emplacements, so this could be a huge advantage to Team Kirov here. Like, just look at the massive amounts of... they've got mortars lining the top, and they've got up to 6 cannons forward-facing directly at Dumbo. That's going to be an incredible amount of damage output very, very rapidly. Oh boy. Team Dumbo activating their active cloaking. They are currently invisible to the other team. Team FM Kirov. Oh, you didn't. Oh no. They built a little bombing ship, just a little strike craft to go around, but they forgot the cockpit. It has no control systems, and so it's gone. Oh no. Alright, well, the active cloak has worn off and the damage output is stacking up. Oh, they reactivated it again. That's fair enough. Okay. Ooh. Being invisible does not stop the impending damage output. It's, they don't know exactly what they're hitting, Because they can't see it, but they are hitting. And here comes another volley of mortars. With it, the energy production falls. Huge amounts of damage. It looks like they're doing what they can to try to maneuver themselves with such a large, bulky ship. My god, the active ability comes off cooldown. It recharges so extremely quickly. These mortars are doing absolutely devastating damage. Oh no. Here we go again. Look at this. It's nearly Swiss cheesed. I do want to say, the strategy of fire beams from below is quite exciting. It's doing significant damage, but nothing that's threatening outright to break the base and end the game. Team Kirov now has a visible target to face once again. Wow. Not all that much in the way of frontal protection. Not a whole lot of armor there. Just a wall of cannons breaks to the front and removes yet another set of weaponry from their targets. It looks like they're reconstructing the strike craft here, getting themselves set up to do another launch from their shipyard. If they could maneuver this craft, if they get it online for one, and then they can maneuver it into a good position, like from the rear. Team Kirov is not defended from anywhere except the front and now the bottom. God, the cloak is actually really good. I did not consider how quickly the invisibility comes off cooldown. That certainly helps quite a lot. It would be interesting to see Team Kirov target the lower elements down here, because this lower element is the entire economy of Team 2. It is also an existential threat given the placement of weapons. Gosh, but in the air, the dreadnoughts, the battleships themselves, they're just invisible, so they're just moving up and down. Oh, massive damage. Oh, that's bad. The ship is sinking. It crunches the core. We have a capsize and it's cut in half. That's gonna be bad. That's gonna cause so much damage when it comes back down, if it comes back down. Oh no. Well, there they cloak once more, but will it be enough? God. Oh, they found him. For a moment, as the mortars are just spread fire everywhere. Just trying to hit anything they can. Dodging up, dodging down. Uh-oh. We have a player disconnection? Looks like there's some internet connectivity issues. This is fine. We will be pausing here a moment to reconnect, to reset it. Don't worry, we're still flying half a ship. Can I fix this? What happens if I do? Now I want to know. Does not. Is this a mod? Yes. Yes, it is. This is modded flying forts. All right. Whoa. All right, one moment. Looks like there's some fairly significant desync issues going on here. Some heavy desync going on. Typically, we can simply reconnect. It would seem that the lobby itself is a bit desynced, which is not ideal. Obviously, Team Kirov is at a significant advantage here. I do want to take this moment to point out that there was a mistake in the UI. And that one is entirely on me. This is not Team Dumbo, it was Team Don't Know on the right side. So that has been corrected on my end. However, it's something to point out. They're still flying half a router. Oh no. Yes, the amounts of there's a bit of seems to be some internet connectivity issues here. It would seem that Team 1 is at a significant advantage. I believe we're still missing a player from the lobby. The joys of having a global community. Okay. Someone pray to the Omniscient to get the Wi-Fi back up. Alright, I believe all the players are back in the lobby now. Okay. Alright, it looks like we're calling it. Yes, alright, so they're calling it here. Team 2 has conceded. So we'll be moving on to the next match. Alright then. So congratulations to Team FM Kirov. Wait. Did did I make that one backwards? Just a moment. Just a moment. I need to check on something real quick. All right. The teams were swapped in that last one. It wasn't FM Kirov that was on Team 1. FM Kirov was on Team 2 on the right side. It was Team Don't Know, which was on Team 1, and they were the victors. Wait, no, they were the ones who were disqualified. I need to... Something is happening behind the scenes here, and I don't know what's going on. I'm not seeing... information about it. Okay, yes, A team won, and I don't know which one it is. And I don't know why. I'm sure I will find out eventually. But right now, not quite. Alright. Either way, we could check the bracket. It's been updated. Team FM Kirov moving on to the next round. That one was a scuffed match, we'll put it that way. Okay. Alright, so this next match will be Battle Planers versus Dumbo. Round 2. Sure, Kirov won? Yes. So this, you guys could check the, use the bracket command to check the bracket yourselves. This is taken directly from the challenger. I am not the one editing this here. It is official. For this tournament, Team FN Kirov moves on to the next round. Alright, it looks like we're about ready here to go into round 2. What were the house rules again? There's a fairly substantial amount of them. I haven't covered them all. A lot of it is more technical and not particularly interesting. And we're off. As here we have on the left-hand side, it is Team Battle Planers. Alessio, Bowser, and Pekka will be constructing themselves a giant dreadnought to defeat their opponents in Team Dumbo. On the right-hand side, we have Brian the Super, Great Roo, and Flint Shadow into what is going to be the giant flying battle forts that you guys know and you guys love. Welcome back to round 2 in this BOGShips events. We have each team has exactly 6 minutes, with only 5 minutes left in the timer as of this moment, to construct themselves a flying battleship. Now, the major rule of this is that you cannot separate your cores. So these 2 cores here, as well as these 2, must be part of the battleship. So inevitably, just because of the position of them, you're going to have this giant chunk of flying fort that will be sending off into space and colliding with your opponents. Now, as we have seen in the last match, there is some leeway to do things like starfighters, any of these little strike craft. We saw some bombers already. And that usually comes from repurposing these forward elements. It looks like we have exactly that kind of behavior happening right now. So, the question then is, what strategies specifically will each of these teams be employing? One moment. Getting a message here. Planers. Yes, I do need to swap the teams. Looks like this is Battle Planers versus Dumbo. However, it's the opposite. Give me a moment. There we go. And we're off. Dumbo here on the left-hand side versus Battle Planers on the right. Let us go. Yes, this is different than it was shown in the event list. Okay, this is fine. They allowed to drop the base. They could do. There are some limitations, as I've mentioned before. There are some rules, such as all cores must be connected together at all times, except for moments when they are split by the opponents. Let's see. There's a list of rules somewhere that I don't see immediately. So I'm going to find that at another time. However, okay, yes. Here's a list of rules. Battleship must be in the sky after the 6th minute. That's the truce moment. So once this truce timer ends up, this must all the battleships, the cores must be in the sky. As we have almost failure to launch. Did not set themselves a proper breakaway point. Oh boy. That's that was scary, but we do officially have the first launch as Team Dumbo is having some control issues with one of the strike craft, it would seem. Oh, it's almost off the boundary. Oh, that was close. All right. There we go. It's okay up there. It's fine. It's just hiding. It's just hiding. It's okay. Okay. There's a mess. There's a bit of a mess going on. You see, this is a much more smooth launch. Just flies into the air, no collapse, no major issues. It's good. You're good. We have flying fort. Battle planers building themselves little strike craft over here. Not sure what this was going to be used for. But this one is going to be used for cannons. Now, both teams are using the Phantom Commander. This means that both teams will have the active cloaking available to their entire battleship, these giant dreadnoughts here, as well as the ability to move weapons around their bases. As we see here as an example, these cannons which were constructed within the hull are now being moved to this lower platform. Battle planers launching their strike craft. Looks like they're setting some engines on as there are only 15 seconds left. I am interested. Yes, it looks like Team Dumbo will preemptively activate their cloaking, so they will be invisible during the opening volleys, which should grant them the ability to fire first, as some point defense. A fire beam burns the cannons out of the sky. Ooh, a beautiful door snipe. And with it, we have some collapsing cannons. That's gonna cause some problems, but oh no. Capsized and bisected. The giant dreadnought for Team Dumbo has been, it's seen better days, as it looks like its cores are now exposed directly to enemy firepower. While Team Battle Planners has lost a majority of their weapons, Team Dumbo has lost a majority of their ship. Their dreadnought is having a real bad day. It looks like they did manage to do a bit of damage control. They haven't quite lost everything yet. They are quite literally still afloat. But a quick roundabout from their strike craft, Team Dumbo scores a critical hit on Battle Planner's dreadnought, losing. Battle Planners has officially lost half of their cores. One more shot, and the final control room for Team Battle Planners will go down. And it looks like that's exactly what Team Dumbo is trying to do, trying to reorient themselves to make that final shot. And well, we'll see how that one works out for them. As we have the chaos is reigning here. It looks like Team Battle Planners is attempting to utilize their own strike craft, but its weapons have been completely removed. Whoa. This is the position they needed. And that's it. There's the snipe on the control room. Team Dumbo is victorious. Via assassination. Strikecraft for the win. Imagine that. After getting bisected and capsized, Team Dumbo actually manages to pull it off. Let's take a quick look on the moment which sparked this crazy amounts of damage. Look at that. Structural failure. After having the front of their dreadnought obliterated by raw cannon firepower, the entire thing comes collapsing and breaks in two. Cannons go out, cannons come in. All the smoke here is the activation of their active cloaking, so they can attempt to avoid being fired upon. But look at the stress. There it is. The base snapping from the recoil and the weights of all those cannons hitting them. And that is how Dumbo's base crumbles. Look at it. It's just crunching. The whole thing is tearing itself asunder. Oh, ho, ho, ho. That's, that was painful. It just It just doesn't stop. And that was Dumbo versus Battle Planers. Good match. Very well played. All right. So if you guys remember, this is a competition. There is a bracket. So go ahead and let me know which team you guys want to see proceed to this next match. Of the remaining teams, which is your favorite? Let's go ahead and post in chat. Which do you guys think is going to win this match? We have remaining Team Brain Damage. We have Team FM Kirov. We have Team AB. And as we've seen it, coming in with those beautiful Strikecraft plays, Team Dumbo. Poll going up right now. All right. Brain damage for the win. Oh my. Brain damage definitely popular. I don't know if Vortex is currently live on Twitch. Let me check that out. I know several of the participants here, the players, are other content creators, so you guys can check out their perspective. It looks like it is just myself and Zoutsburg live, so it is only caster perspective today. All right. Coming up next match, it is Brain Damage versus FM Kirov. Looks like Team Brain Damage is the popular team so far. Oh no. One of the participants just downloaded the Flying Forts. Oh no. Here we go. 3 minutes, a call from one of the players. Dumbo's so big it's capital team. Hey. Oh no. All right. It looks like we're about ready here. The players are set up. It's time to do this. Next match, Brain Damage, Team Brain Damage versus Team FM Kirov. And we are off. it begins. As we have here on the left-hand side, it is so far the fan favorite at rocking 42% of the favorite vote, Team Brain Damage. LPGK, Vortex, and Last Paladin will be facing off against their opponents, Team FM Kirov. With 5.5 minutes left on the clock, what will these players be doing? To be constructing themselves a beautiful set of toys and a beautiful looking dreadnought. I'm waiting till someone to build another Among Us. It's a matter of time before someone goes artful with it. It will be a moment before these battleships start shaping up into something recognizable, as for the start we must necessarily do these standard RTS things of working on basic infrastructure and economy. We see the standard, or should I say, universally common turbine box for anything dreadnought sized, and we're seeing the massive line of metal refineries, metal mines being constructed along the floor. I am interested to see if either of these teams goes for the Strikecraft option. Strikecraft are one of my favorites. It's makes me happy, but you guys know me and my starfighters. I'm a little biased. So far, cannons have been the premium weapon of choice. Rockets are kind of the ideal. However, rockets have the side effect of being a bit buggy when it comes to dreadnought style ships. I'm curious to see if anyone will attempt to make them work. I mean, rockets, they're just incredibly effective. It's just a matter of whether or not you can get them to, not self-destruct, which is kind of the issue. But if you can manage that, they work exceedingly well, especially on Strikecraft. It is worth noting that Team FM Kirov is playing as the Overdrive Commander, where Brain Damage is playing as the Phantom Commander. We've seen the Phantom Commander over and over again, so we're going to have a lot of those weapons moving around, as well as the Active Cloak. However, Kirov, with the Upgrade Sensor Commander, will be able to upgrade all of their toys far, far faster, and with it, generally get a stronger economy. Now, here's the thing. With a 6-minute timer, you don't need to rush out weapons. So, getting the upgraded weapons isn't... rushing out upgraded weapons isn't terribly important. Typically, you would want the Overdrive Commander to do some manner of early game rush, because the Overdrive Commander enables you to upgrade your weapons fast enough such that it makes a significant difference. However, at the 6-minute mark, you can already have basically skipped the early game phase entirely. And with that, it doesn't really matter if you have bonus upgrade speed, because you can already upgrade everything you want at the normal speed by the before the 6-minute mark. So I'm curious what their strategy here will be. Like, there's no timing attacks. It looks like we have a player disconnection. There's some more of those great internet connectivity issues. They have rejoined. Welcome back. Has anyone tried lasers as a mainline weapon? Lasers struggle in airships, in flying forts. The reason for that is lasers require sustained time on target. And when you're against a moving target, such as any of these dreadnoughts, doesn't burn very deep. It just kind of scores the surface, which makes them not particularly effective as weapons. It's why cannons are the premium option. Similar high-impact weapons like rockets are also incredibly common and popular for those very same reasons. However, rockets have the side effect of self-destructing themselves when specifically interacting with the flying fort. So you got to be careful with that. Oh, we have a near failure to launch. Okay, it's crunching. It's crunching. Okay. They held it together. A little bit of flex tape. A little bit of flex tape goes a long way. That was close. That was very, very close. Uh-oh. They're doing a bit of reconstruction. It's fine. Nobody got hurt. And we're off. Okay, so the truce has resolved. All weapons free. It looks like Team Brain Damage is going to activate their cloak, so they now have a stealthy little strike craft here. It's a bomber. This is a bomber. This guy functions via getting no, don't. Is that don't fire it. I think that's against the rules, right? Yeah, got it. You can't be there is a house rule where you cannot do the self-destruct inside another fort thing. So yes, they could have, from a technical perspective, it was mechanically possible to self-destruct that thing right inside here and remove the core. However, that is against the rules of this event, so they did not do that. Good for them. Good job. However, well, Team Brain Damage is wielding their commander ability, specific ability to move their cannons around, and with it, are able to kind of fix their little fort they've got there. It looks like Team Brain Damage is going to be targeting the infrastructure, going with the strategic bombing approach. Yes, with weapons coming from their own eco platform. Ooh, there it is. Yep. They're going with the strategic bombing approach. They fully intend on just destroying the economy and infrastructure of Team FM Kirov. That's big shock. Oh, that's a lot of damage. It looks like Team FM Kirov's little point defense is taking out the strike craft, but cannon after cannon is slamming into Kirov's main dreadnought. It seems both in the sky and infrastructurally, Team Brain Damage is kind of taking the lead here. Despite the earlier near failure to launch, Team Brain Damage with just a bunch of exposed cannons is causing catastrophic damage up to Team FM Kirov. Their dreadnought is not ready for combat is what has happened here. Despite the increased upgrade timings, despite the increased investment into economy production, Kirov just doesn't have a functional dreadnought yet. It's a work in progress, and as you can see, with the amount of doors here, that's a huge amount of defense. But oh, exposed cannons are getting sniped. Yep, there it goes. That's 4 more cannons lost. One of the side effects of, well, not defending your weapons. Literally anything can take them out. Oh, are you going to... No, you moved that there. I was going to say, you could do some strategic bomb. This is a strategic bombing. There's no way this isn't a strategic bombing. This is what's happening here. There's no way that isn't a strategic bombing. It's not a strategic... Okay. Either this is the longest wait for a strategic bombing I've seen. Like, this is the cannon drop. This has got to be... Okay. No, they're not dropping the cannon. Okay. I guess they're just going to sit that there and construct things in a somewhat safer location? I don't know what's going on there. But Team Kirov is reinvesting all this massive economic power into turning their infrastructure, into weaponizing their infrastructure. However, over here, it looks like the main dreadnought is idle, while Team Brain Damage is resetting themselves to increase their own firepower. Huh. Yeah, this is actually... They're just planning on going with the standard howitzer cannon combo. They will be directly targeting Kirov's infrastructure. Oh god. The rockets, that's a lot of damage. Rockets, very good units. It's highly recommended. It looks like Team Kirov is making a strike craft of their own. If Brain Damage is going to hang out and not deal... and not be aggressive. Oh, from behind, Team Brain Damage at their strike craft comes in with the cannons, cleaning out Kirov's control room from the rear. There's only one more control room as main engineering has been removed. The primary control room on the bridge. It's about to be targeted. The cannons are reloading. The strike craft is ready to fire once again. Time to aim. Kirov is dodging. Oh, it's a little bit of crossfire. They dodged too fast. Kirov's crunch is ripping itself asunder. Oh no, Kirov's dreadnought is having a bad day. We have some strike craft on strike craft action. Uh-oh. There it goes. Its flight systems have been knocked out. Kirov loses its strike craft as its dreadnought slowly descends. Damage control is unable to maintain, and down it goes. That actually might bring it back up as it becomes neutrally, as it hits neutral buoyancy. Brain Damage's strike craft is trying to dig away. We have another disconnect from Team Kirov. It looks like they're having some internet connectivity issues. That one player specifically. As much as we do have the ability to pause the game and let them back in, there is a limit to the amount of times in which that will happen. If there is a, if they continuously have connectivity issues, we simply continue the match without them. It does seem that they were able to rejoin successfully, but it might be too little, too late. Team Kirov, uh-oh, they've lost control. Oh, that's a capsize. They are now upside down. This does mean that there's conveniently a bunch of weapons facing directly at the strike craft here. It does some damage. It's enough to push it away for the moment. But at this point in time, Team Kirov's primary infrastructure has been beaten and bruised. There's not much left. They have no energy production whatsoever. Mind you, Team Kirov is kind of floating in energy. They have maximum energy, that literally 100,000 energy, and nothing to spend it on. So that's kind of... They're not hurting for energy, though they have no energy production. Once they start actively firing their weapons and such, they may drain themselves. Whereas Team Brain Damage is hurting for energy altogether. I imagine mostly due to the whole firing their weapons extensively thing. Ooh, the lasers taking the strike craft out of the sky, and the cannons finishing it off. Team Brain Damage loses their last strike craft. It is now Dreadnought versus Dreadnought, as both sides have been brought to the ground. Ooh. Lasers from below. That is massive damage, cutting deep into Brain Damage's Dreadnought. From the one angle, they didn't have defenses. That's not true. Brain Damage is missing defenses all over, but they did have significant issues defending from below. Unlimited resource caps are enabled? Yes. The players, each team doesn't have to worry about resource caps. However, they do not have unlimited resources. They merely only have unlimited storage. So, Team FM Kirov is suffering having unlimited storage and no production. So, they are now below 100,000 energy, and it's not going up with any real speed. Looks like there's another player who has suffered a disconnect, so we will be pausing here to allow them to return. Brain damage just got LASIK. Yes, they did. They're going to have to react to that, as it's going to be a problem for them. If they don't fix that quickly. Iceline full crash, yes. They have unlimited storage, it's just not production. Yes, and not unlimited Wi-Fi, as it seems Iceline specifically is having some internet connectivity issues. So they'll be granted a moment to return. They are in the process of doing so right now. It looks like they've just reconnected. And there we go. Alright, so we shall be restarting here in a moment, or at least unpausing. And they're off as Team Brain Damage starts building. Yep, here we go again. One moment. Looks like several players got desynced there, myself included. So we will be waiting one more moment. Okay. Seems like Kirov is having APM problems, not actually resource problems. So if you notice, it's kind of hard to see here, and this pausing screen. Notice all this metal production. It is likely not possible to spend their production here. The amount of metal income for both teams is disgustingly high. If you notice, Team Brain Damage on the left side is sitting at 91,000 metal, which is unheard of. Like, that's crazy numbers. APM is an issue, yes. But even if you had, even if we did an unlimited APM, AI, I would not be surprised if it struggled to spend that kind of money. Like, you just can't spend that much. So they are quite safe. Energy is a bit more of a concern. However, due to the 6 minutes build-up time, each team was able to build up a massive bank of energy, which neither team has been able to spend just yet. Team Brain Damage, constantly having spent their energy so far, has been able to cut into their energy reserves quite deeply. They're down to 64,000 from I don't even know how high it was, whereas Team Kirov hasn't had a good opportunity to spend their energy due to having been bullied so hard. So they're still up at 87,000 energy. Mind you, they don't have any real energy production at the moment, so it's not going to remain that way forever. It would seem that the desync is contagious, and we are in this situation again. 4 players have desynced at this point. Yeah, okay. I find it likely that will that lobby will be unable to maintain. Oh. Oh. Oh yeah, it's bad. It's real bad. Let's see. And it's different players desync. It's not the same players desyncing every time. I'm going to hold off on rejoining for a moment. We'll see if players are able to rejoin one by one. If that makes a difference here. It would seem not, maybe? No. No. It's bad. I'm sitting in the lobby here just watching players try to reconnect, and it's real bad. Okay. And there goes another one. Yeah. We have successfully reached a point where 0 players are in the match right now. I'm just going to keep watching and see if this resolves at any point in time. Dude, the game is lost. It might be irreparably damaged. I imagine if every player disconnects and we do a connection one by one, we might be able to save it, but the issue with that is it would require the match to be unpaused, which is not the scenario we want to have happen. Alex is sweating bullets. It's one of the side effects of doing modded events. You kind of, especially in the with flying forts, it's kind of how that goes. Okay, we haven't had anyone crash out for a moment. Let's see if I can hop in here. I think I know why. Match is paused. So the moment they press the unpause button, everyone's going to try to reconnect, and things are going to end terribly. Okay. It looks like we'll be doing a rematch. There's no fixing that? Yeah. It's, once one desync happens, there's no stopping the chain. Yeah. The only thing I could think of is have everyone leave the lobby, because there's a dedicated host, so you get one player who leaves the lobby, or you get everyone who leaves the lobby. You unpause, and you have players rejoin one at a time. So you're only ever updating the game state for one player at a time. And you're never paused, so you never have to deal with the surprise. But that has two issues. The first of which is the cat herding revolving around that. Trying to have people cooperate in that manner is an exercise in frustration, but doable. The second is that I think it would require that the game remain unpaused for the entire duration of time, which inherently changes the game state. It's not exactly self-defeating, but it's not ideal. Not ideal at all. It's just that this mod kind of by design is particularly fragile. It's a side effect of the infrastructure, or the way Forts is designed. It does not play well with moving. They didn't get enough routers. Oh no. Permanent unpausedness basically lets both teams build up resources for free. That and continue construction of anything currently in construction. Let's say if one team desperately needs a howitzer in order to survive, and it's got 90 seconds left on construction, it's gonna be finished construction by the time we get all the players back into the lobby. So that's kind of important. But that is what it is. It may be the only way to save the match without having to... I don't even know if it would work. That's just my hypotheses. That's just my hypotheses based on the typical... based on my understanding of how it works mechanically. Yeah, there's shout out to Anxiety coming in with that support. Thank you, thank you. Alright, we will be doing a rematch here. We'll be starting it up momentarily. I know Team Brain Damage not too happy about that. It's understandable. I don't blame them for being displeased. That's kind of the side effect of doing modded events. But we are once more back into the match. And we're off once again. A match remade due to, well, significant due to significant technical difficulties. Once more, it is Team Brain Damage here on the left side, playing as the Phantom Command. They changed commanders. Team Brain Damage on the left-hand side. LPGK, Vortex, and Last Paladin are playing against their opponents. It's Team FM Kirov. Both teams playing as the Phantom Commander. Phantom is probably the most powerful in this particular set of rules. Mostly due to the ability to cloak, partially due to the ability to move weapons around. In a match where the forts can move, it can create a rather dynamic environment. The ability to move your weapons helps with that dynamic issue. A big concern about Phantom is it's just so good. It is just so very good at at everything fort ships. It just solves problems. Is not the best in fort ships, really. Like I get that it doesn't buff weapons. I know it isn't Eagle Eye double cannons. I know it isn't Warthog big cannons. But I mean, the ability to just always have a cannon facing your opponent. It's so good. And the ability to cloak so you can move and dodge and do sneaky things. Like we've seen it already, the cloak and then sneak a ship behind, a little strike craft behind the enemy's fort to where they're not preparing for it. That way they can get a clean shot on target into a critical spot where the opponents they just have no idea it's coming. Or just the ability to dodge. It's like, oh no, you're about to shoot me. It'd be a shame if I went invisible and moved. Like, that's just so good. Alright, it looks like Team Brain Damage is going with the mortar strategy this time. Team FM Kirov is actually looking like they're going to launch already. 2 minutes left on the timer. And they're already released. Liftoff. Is this modded with 0G? So this is Fort Ships Conquer the Skies mod. Gravity is enabled. Gravity is a very big thing. They utilize what are basically hot air balloons. These boxes are cubes of anti-gravity material. It lets them pull the fort upward. So basically this fort here is neutrally buoyant. It is the lift, the upward force. The upward force gained from these hot air balloons is being counteracted by the weight of the rest of the fort in such a manner that it is neutrally buoyant. Shout out to Alex, who is here in chat, for coding this, and the system which manually, or should I say automatically, adjusts the buoyancy of these balloons such that it will maintain neutral buoyancy. It's quite a well-made mod, as we now have, as Brain Damage now has successfully completed liftoff and has managed to not crunch their fort this time. Their battleship has not collapsed upon itself. Looks like neither side is going heavy with the infrastructure system. Both sides are developing a strike craft of a kind. Kirov strike craft is not yet complete, while Brain Damage strike craft is fully operational. Both teams do have their commander ability active. They can commit active cloaking whenever they desire. And again, another setup where Kirov is building forward-facing cannons behind several doors, whereas Brain Damage just has a heap ton of cannons. My god, it got up to 12, 13 cannons. But none of them have doors. As now Kirov has to deal with this strike craft. Strike craft fires and moves. Doesn't want to be in front of those dreadnought cannons. Kirov strike craft has officially launched, although it has nothing in it. Oh, a door snipe. Takes out the control system. This is now drifting uncontrolled. They've reconstructed it. They've maintained. But that's some serious strike craft damage. That door snipe was rough. That's gonna leave Brain Damage in a difficult position here, because that's a lot of deformation on a very small strike craft. Like, you can't really maintain. Friendly fire. Caught in the crossfire, Brain Damage is attempting to shoot down Kirov's strike craft, but managing to only hit its own strike craft, which is a little unfortunate for them, as we have the dance happening. Ooh, that's a critical hit, straight to the cockpit. Kirov's strike craft goes down, takes dreadnought fire from Team Brain Damage. It looks like here Team Brain Damage is now enabling their own their strategic bombing strategy, doing some notable damage to Team Kirov here. If they can manage to bring their strike craft over and hit the infrastructure and hit the wind turbine and energy production here, that would be probably the most damage they could do. However, Team Kirov does have point defense here. It's getting a little bit difficult to manage that one now, as dreadnoughts are on. We have some hot dreadnought on dreadnought action. It looks like Team Brain Damage lost an array of about 6 cannons in that mess, dropping them on themselves while the strategic bombing is begun. Ooh, we have damage. Team Brain Damage taking a direct hit to their upper bridge. Uh-oh. Cannons being moved around to deal with the strategic bombing. It's not enough yet. Uh-oh. Oh, no. A critical hit. The entire infrastructure of Kirov has been disconnected. Kirov is now draining metal ridiculously fast. They're broke. Kirov only has no more significant metal production at this point. They're down to 300 metal and dropping. It is possible for them to rebuild. Their dreadnought does produce a small amount of metal, so they aren't soft locked, but they certainly cannot pay the upkeep and repair bills. It looks like Brain Damage has successfully annexed Kirov's infrastructure. That's just game ending. Like, you can't let that happen. There is no coming back from this. Kirov has effectively no production right now. Their own turbines, they do have a turbine box here, which is, I mean, it'll keep them afloat, but that's about all. The repairs, there's just no repairs are happening. They're selling off doors so they can just hold themselves together for the main infrastructure, for the main material and bulkheads here. And they're surrounded with the Dreadnought's main cannons in front and this MVP strike craft behind. It's just a matter of time before this ends. In this war of attrition, Kirov has no win condition. They have to get the snipe. Oh, massive hit. Kirov's main bridge goes down. They're just trying to fly over and past brain damage at this point. Oh no. They see what's happening here. Uh-oh. How do you deal with this one? Well, at this point, brain damage just has to remove the secondary core here. Uh-oh. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, they're doing some internal, like, kamikaze stuff. That's, I mean, at this point, as brain damage, I would just kamikaze my own cores here, and just, if they're gonna do that. Okay, that's not... Yeah, there it goes. That's exactly what they did. And with that, Team Kirov has been eliminated. Now, that's against the rules? Yes. There is a little bit of gray area, but the suicide strat is not permitted. In this instance, it was only ever going to result in Team Brain Damage's victory. So I don't think it's a major deal. And there we go. Congratulations to Team Brain Damage taking the win. I would say not once, but twice. Mind you, this is a best 2 out of 3, so they will have to take the victory once more. Airships and forts, this is epic. Yes, I agree. It is beautiful. It makes me happy. I'm sorry. I love the airships aesthetic. I know, like, I've mentioned this before. One of the other, there's a whole bunch of creators of content in the forts community, and I am biased toward airships themed things. Like, there was in the last forts map making competition, the cloud base forts was my favorite. I like fort ships, conquer the skies. It's quite fun. You wish you knew about this tournament ahead of the time. Fort Ships is so much fun. Well, if you check out the Fort's official Discord, there are plenty of events going on all the time. In fact, there are so many events that I'm double booked, and I'm hoping one of them cancels so I could do both or reschedule. There's so many events going on at all points in time. Looking to get another AI tournament coming up here soon. I'm super looking forward to the next upcoming AI tournament, by the way. It is... you guys know me in AI. Like I have a select few biases. AI and flying are both of them. Oh my. Will I play Cosmeteer sometime soon? On the list of games to play, Cosmoteer is high up there. It is high up there, and it's got some it had an update too, and that gives me even more exciting reasons to play it. Do the devs have any updates coming to Forts? The Forts has been constantly updated like the past 5 years. Like, it got Labor of Love. Like, it's... Are you kidding me? That's like the thing they've been doing. Alright, so we're waiting for one more player from Team FM Kirov to rejoin. Hey, there he is. Alright. So we will be doing this match one more time as Team Brain Damage has racked up 1 point in this best of 3. They must claim victory once more in order to move on to the finals, or will Team Kirov make a comeback? Only one way to find out, as we're jumping right back into it. Time's up. Let's do this. Okay. And we're off. Here on the left-hand side, once again, it is Team Brain Damage. LPGK, Vortex, and Last Paladin will attempt, this time, to go for match points. The score is 1-0, Team Brain Damage in the lead. Against their opponents, it is Team FM Kirov. Halrasi, Reznov, and Iceline will be attempting to defend themselves. They must win not just this match, but the next in order to survive in this tournament. Let's see how this works out. For now, both teams are playing as the Phantom Commander. Yet another mirror match. No big surprise here, given Phantom's ability to assist in the flying elements of their forts. I do wonder exactly which strategy will be used. Brain Damage seems partial to utilizing a single strategic bombing strike craft, while Team Kirov likes to have a big dreadnought with a bunch of cannons behind many doors. Both strategies tried, true, and very effective. So far, Brain Damage has come out on top. We'll see if that changes this time. There's 4 minutes and 20 seconds left before both teams must have launched their battleships into the sky. Looks like Kirov investing fairly significantly into upgrades, whereas Brain Damage doesn't even have a completed upgrade center. Brain Damage doesn't even have completed Tier 1 tech. Alright, that's interesting. Whereas Kirov is partway through completing their Tier 2 tech. Both teams spending their monies as fast as they can. No one's floating any metal around for any amount of time. That is a significant amount of upgrades. It looks like Team Brain Damage threatening to upgrade every single one of their mines to maximize their income production, while Team Kirov has gone a different route and is threatening to upgrade every single one of their wind turbines to maximize their energy production. That's going to be a pretty stark difference here. I suspect Team Brain Damage will be doing a similar thing here soon. However, there are still 2 minutes and 45 seconds left in the truce and the no rush rule. Team Brain Damage setting themselves up to construct their... They seem to have a very specific strike craft design they like going for. They're building that right now. Kirov is doing a very similar thing. It's going to be a smaller strike craft, it would seem. And it looks like they're launched. The docking facility has completed. Alright, the first launch has happened. Team Brain Damage launching their basic strike craft. Going with double cannons? Interesting. So this is not the same design they had last time. This one's going to be bigger and thicker. It's going to have a total of 4 cannons in it, it would seem. Each team now has 90 seconds to bring their dreadnought into the air. Team Kirov has the tiniest little bombing strike craft here. So we have the bomb launchers below. Oh, good lord. Team Brain Damage. You really gotta do something about your launch protocols. It gets real rough every single time, guys. That is so many cannons being constructed. 60 seconds left to launch. Both teams are in the air. Looks like a bit of an explosive send-off. Team Kirov igniting themselves on the way up, but no significant damage was dealt. Inchworming their way slightly forward. The dreadnoughts rise. A preemptive cloak. I'm not sure what they intend to do with that, as their active cloaking will expire before the end of the truce. As we see, they are now revealed, and Team Brain Damage cloaks themselves. Oh, that's a reversal of fortune here, it would seem. Team FM Kirov targets Brain Damage's infrastructure, and there's nothing stopping them. Brain Damage was incredibly vulnerable to infrastructural damage. Swing and a miss. Oh, that's scary. Brain Damage has no defenses on their infrastructure, and Kirov is gunning for it with the tiniest of strike craft, but it may just be enough. Do they get it? A heavy hit. But they don't disconnect it. Brain Damage is going to come around, is going to have to deal with this as Kirov is coming around for another pass. Uh-oh. It looks like Brain Damage will not lose their entire infrastructure. It won't get sneaked away and stolen, but it's not in a condition they want to be in. Ooh. The large crafts. Uh-oh. Oh. It's Strikecraft versus Dreadnought, and I'm not sure which is winning each time. Wow. Another big bomb drop. This is going to be catastrophic. Brain Damage needs to do something about that bomber. It's just sitting there. It's uncontested. If that happens again, it's happening again. You can't let that happen. The core, it crunches. Oh no. Oh. And it's gone. And just like that, Kirov loses their own set. It's rough. Brain damage is one bombing run away from falling apart here. They have to do something. They have mortars available here, which could launch vertically against Kirov's strike craft here. Their own strike craft is having a bad day. Having a very bad day, but it's still functional. And that's a good hit. The cannon takes a chunk out of Kirov's little strike craft here, but there's not many. It's quite a small craft. There isn't a whole lot of chunk to happen there. Yep, there are the mortars firing vertically and removing the last of Kirov's bombers. It could still be reconstructed. It isn't completely defeated yet, but it is not fully operational. Looks like Team Brain Damage from the infrastructure, they're from the ground, have managed to construct themselves a bit of an offensive platform. It will maintain... Looks like... Oh, okay. That it's gone. Kirov loses its strike craft. It looks like Kirov's infrastructure is a bit too robust to take any meaningful damage from, well, the little bit of a spat they've got going on here. But the dreadnoughts are here to play. And with it, Kirov is going to be sending some fairly significant damage output toward Brain Damage here. Uh-oh. More rockets. This could be good. Another, you need to drop the other. Oh, we missed the good opportunity for it. Okay. And there's a desync. I managed to survive. I did not survive anymore. Oh no. Okay. See if we can make it back in. No. No. Yes? No. Maybe? I made it back in successfully. It looks like I am... It looks like not every other player made it back in. Alright, so we're missing a whole lot of players here. A majority of the players aren't in the lobby right now, but there's at least, or aren't in the match right now. Due to the issues so far that we have had, the call has already been made that no more pausing will happen. So it is a matter of who can get their commands in at this point. Oh, jeez. This one may not be savable again. Wow. Here we go. Forts were not meant to fly. This is true. This is very true. Alright, I will not reconnect for a moment to hope to not become part of the problem. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. There's it's looking rough. Give us a moment here to figure out what's going on. Server? I don't even know her. Hey. Alright. Cat herding time. Okay, this is not getting any better. Alex may have a fix. I would find that impressive, considering this can happen without the mod. Like, the mod makes it worse, or makes it more likely to happen, but the Alex, I will say this: attempting to do an update now can only will absolutely cause more chaos. But I am curious, as if you do have a fix that could do things. Nominate me as the host for the rest of the tourney. So this one isn't actually a host issue. The host has been, you know, most of the players here are European, so I am not a great host here. For example, this is mostly Germans and Russians here. The issue is that when one player disconnects for any reason, such as their own internet disconnecting, which has been the case, it's one player specifically. When they attempt to rejoin, it causes a desync. My suspicion is that because of the game states, the manner in which things move and nodes are moving, that when it attempts to restart the game simulation, it just breaks and causes a desync between the players and the host. Has not to do with the host being unstable, but the manner in which the game state progresses from such an extreme amount of movement. Extreme amount of physics. There's a whole lot of all these background noises you're hearing are people disconnecting and reconnecting, attempting to get back in. I'm just sitting here in the lobby watching it all happen. So, game not working particularly well right now. Yeah. There goes another one. My rejoin button just disappeared. That's because they called it off. Okay. Okay, so they ended it. And by ended it, we mean they gave up attempting to save it. Possible issue is the frame value is not sent to anyone who joins. That could be an issue. That would make sense to me. That would make sense to me. I would think that would be something not touched by the mod. I would think that would be just in the game and not something that would be affected by the mod. It's a mod variable. Really? Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of something else then. By the way, you store a separate frame variable. Okay. Okay. So now there needs to be a decision from the rematch anyway. Okay, so it looks like they're going to rematch the they're going to do a rematch of this one. So we'll reset everything. Last round didn't happen. And the score is still 1-0 for brain damage. Kirov will have to win twice. Brain damage is looking to win once to end the game. To move on to the finals. An official mulligan? Yes. New rule, first person to desync loses. First person to desync doesn't rejoin. It's like you disconnect, not allowed to rejoin. Can you imagine? That actually wouldn't be the worst rule to throw in there. If you disconnect, you don't get to rejoin. Just for mechanical reasons, which would not be an ideal situation considering reconnecting is usually so smooth, but We are now awaiting the return of the last brain damage player, then we'll be off once more. BOGShips or BOGShips? Hey. All right. What are we waiting on? Who is it? Vortex, LPGK are here. We're now waiting on both Halrasi and... Halrasi and Halrasi and Last Paladin. Okay. The English is bad today. It's mostly because a lot of the participants here are from non-English speaking countries, at least not as the primary language. I mean, the Germans are notoriously capable of English, but you should see in the lobby here, the actual lobby chat is like a half German. Okay. But the players in these lobbies so far have been between German and Russian. So the chat's in English. Yes, my chat is in English. We do keep the chat here on the stream side English. However, due to the massive influx of non-English speakers, there is a fair bit of non-English going around, and it does mean that there's a bit extra leeway and leniency, because we do expect a lot of the players, a lot of the people who are coming to watch their favorite players won't be primarily English, so just comes with the consequence, comes with the side effect that you get a lot of mixed language, which is fine. I do enjoy having the diversity every so often, as long as it's, as long as the English is maintained. Because we do have to moderate. I believe it'll be another 2 or so minutes. Technical difficulties. So how are you doing, chat? Do you want to say Xavier's coming in with the everything is on fire? Yes, oh yes. Everything is always on fire around these parts. Taichu playing flying forts in his own lobby just because he can. Oh, the joys of flying forts. All right. So how are you guys doing today? Had a nice relaxing day, got myself some ginger peach tea. I need more honey. I have some locally sourced honey, and I'm down to about half a bottle of it. Not that I use ridiculous amounts of honey or anything, it's just this bottle of honey has lasted me 4 months. It's not even that big of a bottle, but I do need to get a new one soon. What's the song? You can see the song credits in the bottom right corner of the screen at all points in time. Currently, the Forts OST. Ever been to Robert is Here fruit stand? Oh yes, that place is amazing. Did I just dox myself? Isn't that place? It's family run. Yeah. Okay. Well. Yes, the place is amazing. I love it. It's one of my favorite places to go. Like that whole area is filled with Robert is Here is not the only place there in that vicinity, which is similar levels of good for the very same reasons. It's all local food, and like literally the district it's because it's either it's in and around the agricultural district, so you get actual locally grown food freshly picked like that day and then turned into various goods, things like baked breads, which are amazing, cinnamon rolls, oh my god, my favorite are the herb sticks, Robert is Here shakes, oh, is amazing. Your family always goes there for milkshakes whenever you go on vacation? Yeah. That's one of the good places. That's one of the places that the locals know about that vacationer people generally don't know about. The vacationers always go to the big flashy places like in downtown and don't go near the agricultural district. Not knowing the agricultural district is where the actual good stuff is. You find yourself missing Meet Your Maker? Hey, Meet Your Maker announced their release date for April 4th, which is a particularly suspicious release date, but it's acceptable. You have a friend who is a farmer and a beekeeper. He was telling you recently that his honey sales are higher than they've ever been due to in-store prices, that he's starting to see a huge gain in customers at the farmers markets where he sells his produce. It's cool to see, but at the same time, you find it scary to see that we're reverting to that kind of market. I don't find it scary at all. That's the whole joy of capitalism. It's a careful balance. If stores start doing things like raising prices, literally you could just go directly to things like co-ops, farmers markets. Like, it's not, those things have never gone away. Like, we were just talking about Robert is here. Like, that's the stuff there. The only time you really need things like grocery stores, like the big chains, is because cities exist. Another huge bit of it is, oh no, this whole work from home thing is happening. Like, it's removes the need to be in these giant cities and away from agriculture districts, and you can have actual diversity in incomes, or diversity in sources. There's a reason why they were originally called convenience stores. Yes, so much yes. All right, let me check on. Okay, so it looks like they've given the win to... We've officially given the win to Brain Damage. So we will now be going AB versus Dumbo. Moving on to the next match. All right. It'll be Dumbo versus AB. This is going to be an exciting match, and by that I mean this is a match filled with players you know and love. We'll give them a proper introduction here in a moment. But for the time being, we'll get set up here. The cat herding is about finished up, just waiting for the players to line themselves, just to hit the ready button. Way to get some Fort Shenanigans videos back anytime soon. Well, surprise, we've got a Forts video releasing at the end of the BOGShips event today. So we will be having a new Forts video coming within the next probably 2 hours. Let's see how long it takes for the technical difficulties to resolve themselves here. If you let us win, I will give you a $20 Steam card. Everyone agrees no. Badge is is better. Oh my. All the badges, yes. Eaton coming to claim his next badge. Does Team AB stand for all badges? It is not explained. So you're welcome to write whatever you think AB stands for. For all I know, it could be blood types. Free market frees capital. I mean, in all seriousness, like, a lot of the big chain stores are having serious issues. Like, they're getting out capitalismed by farmers, which makes me happy. Like, it's about time. I really don't mind. I get higher quality stuff a lot easier. The team with the stupidest name will always have your heart. A. $100 Steam card to let him win. Alright, looks like we're about readied up here. So without further ado, let's jump into it. The bribery is increasing, it really is. All right, and we are off once more into the fray. Let us go. All right, so here on the left-hand side is Team Dumbo. We have Pekka, Bowser, and Alessio. You guys know them, you guys love them, you guys have actually very close to being the favorite team so far. But facing off against Team Dumbo, it's Team AB. Team AB of Firework, Alex, and Ethan. This is the prestige team here. Firework, Alex, and Ethan. You guys know Ethan. Ethan is omnipresent and the player to defeat. Alex is actually the mod creator. Alex is the reason why we have flying forts today, at least this iteration of it. And then, of course, Firework. Oh, the joys of Firework bases. In any case, Team AB is playing as the Hurricane Commander. With the Hurricane Commander, they gain access to nothing particularly exciting. The passive Hurricane Commander is mostly a passive commander. Passively increases slightly the speed of every constructing device and weapon. So the technology constructs just a little bit faster, weapons construct just a little bit faster. And more excitingly, the active ability for Hurricane rapidly reloads their weapons, so they can basically double fire their weapons if they activate the commander ability. Whereas Dumbo is playing as the Phantom Commander. We've seen this many a time. This lets them move their weapons around and so forth, so on. So this is going to be a little bit of sneakiness, a little bit of dynamic base design, versus rapid-fire weapons that come out quickly. Mind you, because of the truce, the no-fire, the no-combat directive at the beginning of this match, the ability to rapidly construct weapons, or slightly rapid is a strong word, slightly faster, just ever so slightly more quickly develop their weapons and their technology, is not going to make a difference here, because in the 6 minutes it takes for the truce to wear off, both teams can have constructed pretty much as many cannons as they want. As we see here, Team AB, they've got cannons on the field already, whereas Dumbo also has cannons on the field, and there's still 3 minutes left on the truce, so these cannons will all be ready to go and ready to fire before the truce ends. The bonus build speed won't be a major factor here. However, the rapid reload will, as that will enable them to fire their weapons quite quickly, so they don't need as many weapons on the field to do heavy hits. It is possible that these slightly faster build times will come into play should they have to rebuild things. But we're not talking about architect build times here. It's not some manner of rapid reconstruction. We're not going to be seeing cannons come out of nowhere. It's just a little bit of an edge. All right. It looks like both teams are developing strike craft of a kind. Looks like oh. This is a fun design. This is a design I like. They've got themselves a bit of a cannon-based bomber. This is designed in such a way that instead of dropping bombs, it just cannons from above. It's basically tier 3. It's basically a flying tier 3, whereas this guy is a more standard cannon style strike craft. This one looks to be set such that it will... I don't know. Is this going to target the infrastructure? Because this, in its current layout, unless they're going to turn it upside down, can only fire from left to right, meaning that it can only fire at targets directly. So, I don't know what they're looking to do here. With this. But this one fully intends on just flying up here and just raining death from above. And if the dreadnought goes up too high to get above it, then rain death upon the infrastructural setup here. Very similar design philosophies for both teams here. They are functionally the same, as both dreadnoughts have launched into the sky. Dumbo preemptively activating their active camouflage, so they will not be cloaked. They will not be cloaked when the truce wears off. Either way, we are going to see basic cannon dreadnoughts with no trickiness involved. Cannons flying across. A bit of a self-destruct. That's unfortunate for them, but they maintain. They reconstruct. Little damage control. Looks like... Oh! Dumbo loses their primary bridge. Is he gonna fire from above? Ooh, strike craft on strike craft action. That's an incredibly dominant performance. So far, Dumbo has lost its primary bridge and control center due to direct fire from AB's dreadnoughts. The right-hand team just had twice the amount of cannons that Dumbo, of the team Dumbo, and directly punched Dumbo in the face and came out victorious. Similarly, AB and Dumbo had a bit of a strike craft battle, and it looked like Team AB came out on top. Not unscathed, but victorious nonetheless, whereas the strike craft is now casting cannons down into Dumbo's last remaining cores. Team Dumbo has to do something here. The strike craft will kill them rather quickly if left uncontested. They are attempting to contest it, however, it's not working out very well for them. Not just yet. Whereas, Team Dumbo has officially lost their infrastructure. Oh, that's a heavy hit. In retaliation, Team Dumbo does remove Team AB's strike craft. They did so completely under the within the duration of their active camouflage. So Team AB had no idea what was coming. They just suddenly lost their strike craft. However, during that time, Team AB completely destroyed Dumbo's economy. There's really not much left there. If Dumbo wants to have a chance of surviving the war of attrition, they need to re-land and reconstruct a control room down in their infrastructure, ideally before they lose everything. I suspect they will not be able to do that because they haven't already, and they're running out of time before it burns to the ground. Uh-oh. This is what bad looks like. Dumbo is burning through their reserves of metal. They are down to 300 metal and not rising. Not rising quickly. They have just completed construction of some metal converters, so they will have some metal production, and they're burning through their energy production. Dumbo does have over 100,000 energy, so they are not hurting for energy. Metal, on the other hand, they don't have enough production to properly maintain their dreadnought. It's enough to keep them afloat, but not enough to meaningfully repair themselves. So every hit they take is near permanent damage, and they are taking hit after hit. As Team AB, well, they're fully aware that Dumbo no longer has any meaningful resource income, so they're content to just sit here and launch cannon after cannon directly into Dumbo's face. A single laser fire from Team Dumbo. I mean, it hits. It does something, but I mean, we're not talking about massive damage here, whereas Team AB is digging deeper and deeper into Dumbo's base. Looks like Team AB has reconstructed their strike craft. It is the same design of their previous strike craft. It isn't fully reconstructed. It needs a bit more time to finish construction. It doesn't have any thrusters enabled. It looks like Dumbo is attempting to close the gap. Oh, I'm not sure of their plan here, but Team AB has developed their mortars and have brought them to bear. It is a bit scary. Team Dumbo has had their dreadnought is a bit Swiss cheesed. Any and every move. Oh, a critical hit. A door snipe directly into the primary bridge. Dumbo manages to take out AB's first set of cores. That's technically going to put Dumbo and AB on even grounds in terms of score, but I still don't see a great win condition here. Team AB is just the dominant firepower here. It looks like Dumbo is trying to ram. Will it be good enough to make a difference? AB is trying to rotate their strike crafts. Well, they tried. Huge hit, and that's a complete bisection, and they're gone. And with that, AB takes round 1 in this best of 3. Very effective. All right. We have one more round in this best of 3. Rapid fire mass cannon seems good. Yes, yes, yes it is. You're rooting for Dumbo? Well, keep rooting for them because they've got one more shot to make a comeback here. As this is not over. Remember, this is a best 2 out of 3, so we're going to see Dumbo versus AB once again. Coming up here in just a moment. Finals best of 3 or best of 5? The finals is best of 3. Once more into the fray we go. And we're off. Team Dumbo versus Team AB. In the last match, we saw Team AB come out on top with a rather dominant victory. Dumbo almost made a comeback with what was a particularly lucky shot. However, it was not enough to bring them to the victory. It was, however, close. Will they be able to make the difference this time around? To up their game just a little bit higher and take 1 point off of Team AB. Remember, this is a best of 3, so they still have to win twice in order to move on to the finals. So we'll see if they can even the scores here in this match. Looks like it's the same commanders, the same matchup, but exactly the same scenario to start with. Team Dumbo is playing as the Phantom commander. Ready to get sneaky, ready to get that active camouflage, and ready to move their weapons around anywhere they see fit. Team AB is again playing as the Hurricane commander. I am interested to see how well the Hurricane commander performs. If last round is any indication, quite well. As while the rebuild speed isn't super impactful or really meaningful this time, the rapid fire weapons, however, are. Rapid fire is a bit strong of a word. Rapid reload for, one reload timing. It is very similar to the Eagle Eye, except it's attached to the active rather than the passive ability. Is there a mod for this on Steam? Because if so, you'd love to turn one of these flying bases that are held to the ground. Oh yes, it's called Fort Ships. You can look it up. We've done Fort Ships several times on the channel. It's a particularly enjoyable and popular mod. Speaking of which, it's a mod developed by Alex, one of the players here on Team AB. So the mod maker himself is here to show you guys how exactly to play. Or at least, to get gunned down by players who know how to play better than the mod maker themselves. We see the beginnings of a strike craft from Team AB. I expect that we will also see a strike craft from Team Dumbo, however they haven't begun construction of such a thing just yet. Unless this is the strike craft? This may be the strike craft. Although it's interesting design. There's the strike craft, okay. So Team Dumbo is constructing a strike craft of their own, of an interesting design. Howitzer double cannon. Looks like they're launching the strike craft already. They will be continuing its construction. All that pre-built AA for Dumbo. I mean, I don't blame them. The way they're designing this, it looks like the Dreadnought will be constructed from this rear section, while they're leaving this forward section here as part of the infrastructural defense. And if you're going to set up infrastructural defense here, I mean, AA is about as good as you're going to get. AA, a few fire beams. You can also weaponize it, but I mean, it's a different scenario. I would be tempted. Every time I see this, I would be tempted to try something cheesy. If you take your strike craft and you launch it early, like a couple minutes before the timer, there's a solid chance, like a really good chance, that the opponents won't see it. So you can get it all the way up here out of direct line of sight before the match starts, and then you can drift it over to the enemy's side and have it over like behind their base without ever being in vision of the opponent's players. So I'm not surprised to see no one trying to be super sneaky with it, considering that these are all good players involved here. They're likely to see it anyways. But I'd still like to see them try. This looks to be the same design. Approximately the same design as they used in their previous match. Their previous round. This looks like it's just it's a bomb waiting to happen. Oh, gosh. The dreadnought was rising. I thought it was the strike craft falling, and I panicked for a moment. I was like, no, not like this. But no. Okay, so Team Dumbo activates their cloak, and they activate it during the truce, so it will wear off, giving Team AB an opportunity to react before things start, as the rise of the dreadnoughts has happened. Solid hits. Team Dumbo recloaks themselves. So at this point, Team AB does not know where Dumbo is exactly, as they're getting hit pretty hard. Looks like Team AB's strike craft survives those impacts, as the mortars are so high over the edge of the map that the point defense of Dumbo is physically unable to reach it, which is hilarious to me. Uh-oh. AB's strike craft is getting hit pretty hard, and is now facing a target which is again cloaked, so they don't know where those next shots will be coming from exactly. As Dumbo's strike craft is repositioning itself, no longer getting strike craft on strike craft action, but instead gunning directly for Team AB's dreadnought. And Dumbo's strike craft has a huge amount of firepower. That is a howitzer. A howitzer with 2 cannons, so that could be game-ending amounts of damage very, very quickly. So it looks like Team AB's strike craft is repositioning itself, attempting to gain an angle against Dumbo's rear cannons. However, the dreadnought battle appears to be advantaged to Team AB. Oh, that's it. AB loses their strike craft. Uh-oh. In the dreadnought versus dreadnought action, Team AB is coming out on top, just pummeling Dumbo into the oblivion. There's not much left. Dumbo's defenses are almost entirely defeated. But this is bad. AB is reacting, but that is a huge amount of damage. Without Phantom, without the ability to reposition any other weapons, there's no swift reacting to this. They just have to face tank these hits from Team Dumbo's strike craft. And it's just gonna sit there behind, loaded down with cannons and howitzers, and deal absolutely devastating damage. But this whole time, Team Dumbo's dreadnought, the main battleship, is losing its primary fight. There are 5 cannons for Team AB, and they are just punching Dumbo directly through the front, and it's working out quite well for Team AB as the howitzer comes off cooldown. For Team AB's strike craft, we're going to see another heavy hit. I think they could take it. As close as this is, that is not enough. Massive damage. Team AB loses half of their dreadnought, drifting down, but the damage is not uncontested. Team AB, in that same breath, fires another volley, completely destroying Team Dumbo's bridge, and with it, a significant chunk of Dumbo's dreadnought. However, the damage is mounting. What was once just a basic strike craft has been redeveloped, repurposed. Weapons from the dreadnought. Is that it? That's it. Dumbo, in a great strategic move, repositioned their weapons with the Phantom ability from their Dreadnought over to their Strike Craft and just dealt absolutely game-ending damage to Team AB's Dreadnought. And that evens the scores. 1-1, Team Dumbo takes this round. All right. So that that is the strength of Phantom, the ability to move weapons around and such. I would not be surprised if the reason why Dumbo lost the Dreadnought face so strongly is because of the Hurricane's ability to rapidly reload. However, in the end, Phantom's strength came out on top. At least in this round. We'll have to see how it comes out in the next round, as we have one more round coming here. The scores are even as 1-1. Winner takes all. The victor of this next match will move on to the finals, and the loser will be eliminated. The players are readying up. We will see the next round start shortly. Okay. The players are ready. The match is made. Let's do this. And we're off, ladies and gentlemen, into the final round of this best of 3 here on the left-hand side. It is Team Dumbo. Victorious in the last match using some particularly cheeky Phantom play, managing to upgrade their Strikecraft Dreadnought, destroying levels of damage output. They're looking to defeat their opponents, Team AB. Team AB on the right side, probably the team with the single most prestige of any team here, with Firework, Eaton, and Alex are playing as the Hurricane Commander. So it looks like they're sticking with the commanders for the entirety of these matches. There have been no changes to strategies so far. It looks like they're just going to do the same thing once more. We'll find out which strategy comes out on top. All right. 4.5 minutes remaining on the truce timer. I suspect we're going to see exactly the same plays for both teams here. I haven't noticed any strategic diversity from any team so far. It has all thus far been in the implementation. Mind you, there have been some small details. An extra piece of armor here, an extra piece of armor there, which is designed explicitly to deal with the strategy that the opponents are using. The players and the teams are adapting, although they are not diverging from their designated strategy, at least not yet. This looks to be the same layout that they will be going for so far with all of the strike crafts. Yeah, this is looking exactly the same as previously. It's the same strike craft layouts and everything. Okay. Okay. I'm noticing that there's not a whole lot of upgrading of eco going on here. I wonder if that will change at some point, although I doubt it. Something tells me, despite the massive APM spikes, these players, they're not struggling to spend, they're still struggling to spend their money, let alone upgraded income. There's the launch. Team Dumbo. A mild adjustment to their weapon set here, using 3 cannons instead of 2 cannons and a howitzer, but otherwise the same layout on their strike craft. Exactly the same situation happening here for AB. It looks like have they just not done the rotation yet, or is it to... this may be a different... Yeah, no, this may be different. Or they may just not have rotated yet. We'll see. This does look different. Slightly different layout. Oh yeah, they just haven't... They're gonna do the rotation. Okay, they just haven't done it yet. 90 seconds remaining before these dreadnoughts must be launched. No. AB actually going with a different layout for the strike craft. This is not the same strike craft that they were using before. This is very similar to their direct opponent strike craft. It's almost exactly the same one for one. This is very much so similar to what I tend to build, where this is much beefier. It's probably stronger. Looks like Team Dumbo is preparing for launch, as both sides should be preparing for launch. Indeed they are. And Team AB... they're trying. Officially launched. Team Dumbo has 30 seconds to launch. And away they go. Just the armor expenditure. You can hear it. The hammering. Okay. 6 seconds remaining. It's cannon o'clock. AB's opening volley will have 5 cannons, where Dumbo's opening volley will have 4. Commander ability active for Team AB, so they will be recycling their cannon fire rapidly at this point. AB looking to add the forward-mounted cannons on the strike craft to the primary damage output of their own dreadnought, combining that firepower, breaking Dumbo's array of cannons on the dreadnought. Dumbo's dreadnought is almost entirely defanged, but its defenses have not yet been breached. Ooh, a Magna Beam. Interesting. That will combine all those shots into the same spot on Team AB's strike craft, but it's thick and beefy. It's not particularly mobile. It's not moving at all, actually. It looks to be less of a strike craft and more of a satellite with extra cannons on it. I think, yep, that's official. Dumbo's dreadnought has been bisected. Its damage control teams have kept it afloat, but it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Massive damage. Team Dumbo's, bisected components have both capsized, leaving their exposed underbellies vulnerable to attack. And AB's got a devastating amount of cannons on that dreadnought, and they're bringing them to bear against the constituent components of Dumbo's remaining craft. Yeah, look at this. It's pretty much just a set. Oh, well, there it goes. The first half of Dumbo's dreadnought has been completely eliminated, knocked entirely out of the sky, as AB's strike craft. It's tanky. This is a chonker. This guy's whole job is to just sit here with cannons and be an additional auxiliary cannon platform, and it's worked. A beautiful door snipe removes Dumbo's strike craft. There's not much left. Dumbo has no movement capabilities on the remnant bits of their dreadnought. It's a sitting duck. No weapons, no ability to defend itself here, really, other than rapidly constructing and spamming. They activate their active camouflage. But at this point, Team AB is just blind firing in the direction where they once were, and they're getting a couple hits, mostly missing. It's not enough to end the game, but the auxiliary cannon platform has found the dreadnought once again. Another massive bit of damage. Team Dumbo has the money to spend. They're sitting at 5.5 thousand metal. But the base, it's just too unstable. The last remaining dreadnought components are... It's not good. It's not a stable platform. Reconstructing here is an exercise in frustration. It looks like AB's primary dreadnought is looking to aim down into Dumbo's infrastructure, while their satellite strike craft is slowly drifting its way toward Dumbo's remaining dreadnought components. Just looking for the finisher there. Dumbo is currently at camouflage. They are invisible, so they can't really be seen at all. They have just decloaked. Dumbo does have their own strike craft here. I don't know what they're planning to do with that. It drifted across the line of AB's cannons on the main cannon array in the dreadnought. It did not live very long. It looks like there's some ground fight happening here. Dumbo has been reconstructing their weapons and the lower elements. Ooh, another heavy hit. That's not much HP remaining, and there it is. There's the snipe. Dumbo loses their last core. The dreadnought falls. And AB is victorious. And just like that, AB moves on to the finals, where they will face brain damage. Ooh, the very slow collapse of Dumbo's dreadnought. Just look at the way it capsizes. The moment it disconnected. It just swings around in recoil from its own weight. Both halves capsizing simultaneously. Look at it. Just in time to get slammed again. And that is how the ship falls. The dreadnought splits. Just like the Titanic. Ayy. Alright, so this next match will be Team Brain Damage versus Team AB. This is the finale, the final match in this event, in this competition. For the badge, it will be a best of 3. So there will be some more match coming soon, regardless of the outcome of this one. When the players are ready, we will be starting up. Alright, chat. So let us know. Which team do you think will win this? Will it be Team Brain Damage or Team AB? Let's start a poll for it. Poll is live. Are you Team AB or Team Brain Damage? As we are once more into the fray. Left hand side, it is Team Brain Damage. LPGK, Last Paladin, and Vortex are playing as the Phantom Commander, getting themselves all set up and prepared to launch their Dreadnought already, moving through their tech, getting things all ready to go as they move to defeat their opponents. Team AB on the right hand side, playing as the Hurricane Commander for that bonus reload speed. We'll see who comes out on top quite soon here, with 4.5 minutes left on the timer before the truce completes. There's plenty of time for each team to get themselves situated and prepare the tools of devastation for their opponents. Not seeing everything so far is looking pretty bog standard. Makes me wonder if there's going to be any wild or zany strategies here. I mean, anytime Phantom is involved, there's always the opportunity for something wild. I do want to point out the Team AB here is doing some stability tech. I'm not noticing it anywhere else. But just something to help prevent their fort from crunching. I'm not noticing any such stability tech for team brain damage. Although, to be fair, stability tech hasn't seemed to be that effective so far. The crunching seems to happen anyways. Something about having a giant dreadnought being built out of wood rather than, you know, more sturdy material. It looks like Team AB is building the same... Oh, no, this is going to be... Yeah, this is going to be the same one that they used in the first round in their previous match. This will be the Tier 3 variant. Unfortunately, improperly constructed. That's an expensive loss. They will be able to reconstruct it and have it rebuilt before the truce, but it isn't in an ideal situation for them. Team Brain Damage, their own strike craft, is already in the sky, although it has no development or weapons or defenses. So it is being constructed in the sky rather than constructed on land and launched from their launch bay. Would seem Team AB has 5 cannons and 1 howitzer set on their primary dreadnought. Got it this time? Nope. My mans, you gotta have the controls. Okay. You tried. That's actually pretty devastating. With the collapse of their forward footprint here, that is going to leave them in actual trouble. They will need to reconstruct a defense here for their infrastructure, at least somewhat. My god, that's so many cannons. That's 9 cannons, 3 howitzers. Team Brain Damage's dreadnought is going to be bristling with weapons, where Team AB doesn't have nearly the same amount of weapons. Not even close. However, Team AB's weapons are locked behind proper doors and enclosures, as well as the commander active ability for rapid reload will be able to field similar levels of firepower to Team Brain Damage's, you know, literally dozen weapons. Similarly, Team Brain Damage actually has a functional strike craft right now, and with it, this has gone with the chunk style of strike craft. It's basically just a second starship at this point. Alright, so Brain Damage can cloak at any point in time. They have the cloak ability active. AB starts their opening volleys. Activates their commander ability for rapid reload. I'm surprised to see that Brain Damage hasn't cloaked themselves just yet. But Brain Damage, their main defenses on the Dreadnought have been penetrated. The Dreadnought currently does not have any active weapons. At this point, the Dreadnought has weapons in its hull, but none of them are set to actually fire. They aren't set up, like they actually aren't deployed. So Brain Damage's primary dreadnought is just taking hit after hit. Mind you, Team AB doesn't have any real way of stopping the strike craft. They don't have a strike craft of their own, and without the footprints, the basic bulkhead that they started with, they don't have any way of meaningfully defending their infrastructure. So all this mineral income is going to be lost eventually. I suspect Team AB is planning for that and just hoping to end the game first, which is a legitimate strategy. Team Brain Damage is cloaking themselves. AB is keeping track of them. by scanning them with constant firepower. If brain damage tries to move at any points in time, AB will know about it because they just keep getting hit. So that's effective. As Team Brain Damage is actually about to lose their primary bridge, hit after hit, they can't keep taking that kind of damage output. As it's too late, Team AB loses their rear cores. Team Brain Damage's Stritecraft makes it into position and removes the behind of Team AB's Dreadnought. And there's the crunching. Despite all of that beautiful bracing. Oh, their control room's gone. Oh, that's it. Team AB gets taken down in the first match. Death by Stritecraft. Critical hit removed their control room. I think it may have gotten crunched off is what happened here. Let's check that out in slow motion. Oh yeah, the control room is right in the center here. Another hit. So as of this moment, despite the capsize, Team AB's Dreadnought is still operational. They can still control it. They still have the ability to build on it. It's still functional. It's just upside down, which is not great, but that little extra movement there was enough to destroy the rest of the fort. It survived the capsize, but the moment Team AB decided to move themselves and drop lower, they bisected themselves, and with it, they lost their control room. At this point, AB is spiraling uncontrolled to the ceiling of the map without any way of controlling their elevation or movement. And that's the end of that. Round 1 goes to Team Brain Damage. So I suspect we won't see the same outcome, or at least the same battle again, as Team AB's start was exceptionally unfortunate. It is unlikely that they managed to destroy 2 of their strike craft and their infrastructure before the match starts, before truce timer ends. But it's possible. So we'll see. I certainly hope not. I would like to see Team AB actually have a strong showing here. Because if they don't have a strong showing, well, Team Brain Damage will have a strong showing, because that's what they've shown. Team Brain Damage has had a strong showing every match so far. So, AB's got to step up their game. It's always fun to watch this. The traditional, the typical, the turbine cube, the turbine block. Employed by every team so far. It's just so good. Something to note. Team Brain Damage and Team AB have not changed their commanders. They're sticking with the same strategies to the end, it would seem. Team Brain Damage playing as the Phantom Commander. They will have the ability to cloak, as well as move their weapons around their base, any which way they see fit. Team AB, slightly faster construction time, just global construction time, as well as during their active, they can rapidly reload their weapons. We've seen them use the rapid reload feature to great success. Enabling the Dreadnought to output indefensible amounts of damage. Basically, every round that they've had in the Dreadnought, they've pretty one-sidedly come out on top in the Dreadnought versus Dreadnought battle. The question is only whether or not they can survive the strike-craft combat, which so far has not been in their advantage. Question from chat. They ask, why not put energy production in their ground emplacement? Well, they can. That is an option. That's something that we've seen a couple of times from some of the previous matches. It does suffer from the ability of being vulnerable from the air, as is the infrastructure, like their tech. Anything they build in the lower component is vulnerable to being targeted by bombers and everything else. The Dreadnought can move, the Dreadnought can dodge, Strikecraft can move, Strikecraft can dodge. The infrastructure, the only way to defend turbines is covering it with armor. And, well, that makes it a pretty easy target. At least compared to having it on the Dreadnought. Mind you, it is an option, and it's a perfectly reasonable option. My question is, which layout are they going for here? Alright, they're going for the one they did last time, the one which cost them the system. This isn't cross-braced. Okay. Oh, you didn't cross-brace it. That could have been worse. Okay. That could have been way worse. They could have had a repeat of last one entirely. Okay. Well, it's intact. Team AB successfully launches their strike craft. Barely, but it's a successful launch nonetheless. Going up to a howitzer and 5 forward-facing cannons, Team AB is going to have some serious firepower on their Dreadnought. Team Brain Damage is actually placing some proper forward weapon emplacements this time. Looks like for the time being they're simply constructing all their weapons deep within the hull of their battleship. Interesting that they have a set of bomber array here. I imagine they will be moving that to their strike craft soon. That ding is the timer indicating there's 60 seconds left before these teams have to have completely launched their Dreadnought. Team AB launches a clean launch up into the air. Team Brain Damage still in the process of disconnecting and launching themselves. Another clean launch. Team Brain Damage, not so clean. They don't quite... I was about to say, Team Brain Damage, it's so big and they don't have the preparations for this. Oh no. They're missing a control room. That's bad. Oh no. Oh no. Not like this. Oh no. Failure to launch. Team Brain Damage doesn't quite make it off the ground. They managed to survive just barely, but they left themselves in a critical condition. One shot, one volley, and Team AB just brings their massive firepower down to finish off and completely destroy Team Brain Damage's remnant battleship. Let's watch this again here. Look at it. They didn't have the lift. They just didn't do it properly and ripped themselves off from themselves. Oh, it's so painful to watch. And then there's just nothing stopping the incoming firepower. Oh no. Oh no. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is BOGShips. Oh no. Alright then. Well, with this I can't even. Okay. So with that we have the scores evened up. It is now 1-1. So we're gonna be the next one wins. Winner take all in this finale. The final match. In the first round, Team AB managed to self-destruct themselves out of the game, more or less. Round 2, Brain Damage repeated the same mistakes, removing themselves out of the game. Realistically, before it even started, which is just that's its own level. And now into the final round of what we hope will be an actual match without massive amounts of self-destruction. Here we have on the left-hand side, playing as the Phantom Commander, it is Team Brain Damage. Playing against their opponents, equally as self-destructive, it is Team AB. Oh god. The scores are tied up, 1 self-destruct and 1 round lost apiece. In this best of 3, this will be the final match. Winner takes all. The winner of this round will take the tournament, win themselves their badge, and that will be the match. So, I think we are going to see exactly the same strategies by each team, and there won't be any differences, because that's what we've seen so far from each team across the entirety of the tournament. No one has changed any of their strategies, at least not in any meaningful way. We have seen some minor adjustments here or there just to react to the various weapons and the angles at which they come from, but no real change of strategy, no super counterplay going on here. I'm looking forward to seeing the launch protocols. Hopefully each team does it a little bit better. In the last match, Brain Damage managed to not build enough lift surfaces, so they weren't able to properly launch, nearly came crashing down into the ground, overreacted in such a manner that they ripped their battleship into 2 parts in the process of trying to launch. Hopefully, they don't do that same mistake. I believe the mistake started when they tried to build their battleship much larger than they had previously, which, while could constitute a change in strategy, just resulted in massive amounts of destruction. Specifically for themselves. We are seeing so many upgrades. So this might constitute a different change of strategy, going with the earlier tech center and massively upgrading their mines. That is, every single mine upgraded. They're just such a huge amount of of income. So, for the record, that's +2 metal, up from +4 metal per mine. So that's a flat 50% increase in metal production overall, which is a huge bonus, a huge benefit there. That'll pay off quite quickly. We're not seeing that same kind of upgrading going on for Team AB here. I suspect they're looking to just end it. Team AB does successfully launch, which is good news for them because that was an issue, significant issue for them. They're going with the vertical cannon style, as we have well, the cannon's facing directly downward at this point. Quite a strong strategy. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Brain Damage launching their own strike craft. You can do it. Snap it. They'll get it eventually. It's not important that they launch right now. Looks like Team Brain Damage. Oh boy. No lift surfaces on the Dreadnought just yet. They've got about 90 seconds to get that set up. They are setting that up right now. Brain Damage's strike craft officially launched. It looks like they're setting up platforms to build forward-facing cannons on their Dreadnought this time. They may actually attempt to face AB in the Dreadnought versus Dreadnought war. Although, despite having more weapons, I suspect will be woefully insufficient. Is this enough lift surfaces? Are they going to make the same mistake again? I think they need like 2 more. Like just 2 more. Just 2 more. Please. Just right here. Just do it. Right here even better. Just these right there. Okay. Well, AB has a successful and clean launch. Brain Damage. Oh, they success. Oh, not again. Not enough lift surfaces across the center, across the middle of their battleship. They needed just like 1 or 2 more. Just 1 or 2 more. Well, good news is they're not eliminated. Bad news is this half doesn't have a control room, so it's just drifting endlessly toward the sky. So that's good. They didn't fix it. All right, so that's rip reaction time. Oh boy. They have no control room here either. That's it. And it all comes crumbling down. And just like that, a very slow collapse, but in the exact same manner, Brain Damage manages to collapse themselves into defeat. Oh no. Actually, wait a minute. Let's see. Let's see where exactly things went sideways for them. Alright. So right here, they've got too much weight in the middle and not enough. It's the distribution that did it, really. They do have enough lift overall, but they need more lift coming from the middle. And they just didn't have it. We can see it. We could see it in slow motion happening here, so you can get all that great, information. Great observation here. Let's see. We're good? Okay. Yeah. Notice how the center is not being lifted enough. It's drooping down, bending to the point where it's straining the struts and collapsing. Okay. that's that. Kaboom after kaboom. Unfortunately, they did manage to lose their controller. In that it just happened to be in the place where it, you know, broke in half, which is really rather unfortunate for them. So both of their halves here were completely uncontrolled. They do have the ability to rebuild their controller so that they're not, you know, immediately dead, but they didn't. I don't know if they gave up just as a team or if they thought they had the controller, because, you know, why would it disappear? God, it happened before the truce finished. That's just painful. And that is the finals completed. Unfortunately, that does mean that is the end of BOGShips. So we will be watching replays here for a moment. They had no aviation facility. Oh yeah. It died in the break, didn't it? So that's unfortunate. That's not what you want to have happen. Okay. So I want to watch a few of those replays because there is some incredibly satisfying moments there. Okay. So well done, everyone. One moment. Did he fix the DC? well, no one DC'd, so we may never know. But, if only, if only. What is it? Alright. I want to watch one of the more satisfying moments. Probably one of the most satisfying moments of the final. That is to say, the moment when it all comes crumbling down. Here we have the final in the match we just watched. An entire... Oh, it crunches. Oh no. I know this isn't... I know this is post-match, but the satisfaction... I want to see that again. This time in slow motion. Even more slow motion. Because we can get even slower. 16th speed. Oh wow, that bounced. Yeah, that's satisfying. That never gets old. That never gets old. That never gets old at all. Okay. So what is it another... What was your favorite moment so far? in the BOGShips event. BOGShips competition. I do want to say shout outs to AB taking victory over their opponents here, as that is going to be the end for us today. But don't go away, at least don't go anywhere, because, ladies and gentlemen, a new Forts video is going out live right now, which is always a good time. We'll be back later tonight with their standard timing, and I'm going to send you guys over to a friend of ours, one of the competitors here actually today. Hit you with a raid over to another Fort streamer, but for now, have a good one, everyone. Enjoy the Forts video going live right now, but for now, have a good one, everyone. I'll catch you guys later.